Hello everybody, Mr. Kamzilla here with a brand new LEGO Sonic set review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at LEGO set 76995 Shadows Escape. This set is going to cost you around $19.99 USD plus tax, and if you're in Canada like myself, I paid $24.99 Canadian for this. So with 196 pieces, you might look at it and say that it is a bit pricey for the amount of stuff that it's included. But honestly, looking at the set as a whole and for what's included, I personally think that the set actually provides a decent amount of value for, what you're paying. Now let's take a look at it. It has 3 main builds, 1 minifigure, and 1 little critter as well. So let's just start by taking a look at the main-ish build, or main bulkier build. And it is kind of a lab. So this lab here, if you look at it, it's very bare on the back, and at the front it's got a test tube right there, and then a little kind of divider guard thing. Now the thing itself kind of makes no sense, or at least to me, because it's like there's a test tube, and then there's all of a sudden like a guardrail for like a car. I don't know why you'd have a test tube on a guardrail, and especially with the box, which we'll take a look at after we're done looking at the set. It makes it seem like this is just sitting on a highway, which is interesting. I feel like there could have been a lot more, more theme to the set, in a sense that it would feel a bit more unified, especially with this build. But you've got the bike and stuff like that, so that's what justifies that. But it does feel a little disconnected, and I will talk about that, but I do still think that it is worth the money that you're paying for it. So, the main play feature here is that there is a little slamming feature here, so if I just push that, I'll just hold back here. If I push that, oh, that did nothing. That was very gentle. But I put that up, and I push that down. Then if I go like this, the whole thing pops out. So the front little panel pops out, and this part falls down so that it blocks the bike, I guess, or something like that. Either way, on the back here, we can see that's just on a basic mechanism that pops it up just like that, similar to spring designs that I've made before, and it just pops it. And this thing is on kind of it's got a little hinge there, so if you really wanted to angle it differently, you could, but it really wouldn't do a lot, so having it facing up in that direction is the best. Now I'm going to take Shadow out of there. He's a figure that I really want to look at because he is super cool, but we are going to talk about him after. But he just sits in there, and you can pull him out. I'm not sure if I assembled this improperly, but I don't think so, because I double-checked the instructions just to make sure. But what you can see here is that there's studs here, no studs here, no studs here. And the thing is when I put him in, it actually, I actually have to bend his legs in order to actually fit him fully in there. So that is a bit of a downside if you don't want to have to bend his legs every time you put him in there. I mean, it's not a huge deal, but I do like it when he's, I would have preferred it to have him fully standing up. So I think if you wanted to fix that, you could just change this and have the studs in the front. He might be really close to the glass, but I think it should be fine. And then there'd be more space. Now, as you can see on here as well, there's a big, nice Eggman logo, which is always appreciated. I love when there's big Eggman emblems or anything of that sort. So it's cool to see that there. And that is really, really fun, really goofy, really fun. I'm going to take off some pieces there, so we can get a closer look at that printed piece. Yes, that is printed. It is an absolutely gorgeous panel piece. It is, I think, what looks to be a 2x or a 4x4, I think. It's a 4x4 or 4x3. Can't remember exactly, but the panel completely printed on black, red on black. It is wonderful. This is a piece that you would, be able to use really easily in like an Eggman lab of some sort. So there's a lot of things you can do with that panel, shadow androids, anything like that, and that would just be great to have somewhere outside of the test tube. I feel like having Shadow in there and then having it closed and everything, it really hides how nice that panel is. So I think if you were to buy even a second one, which, I'm considering myself because I really like this set, that is definitely one of the reasons why I would for that piece alone. So I'm interested to see how much that is going to go for on sites like Bricklink and stuff like that, or secondhand, because that piece would be really cool for mocks, and especially obviously Sonic mocks. So that's the test tube lab build with the rail. We've got the bike as well. I'll talk about that in a minute. But I'll talk about the Rhinobot, which also, again, adds to that feeling of disconnected. Rhinobot, as you may know, I believe first appeared in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, one of the titles there, and is an interesting addition to the set. I'm not complaining. It's always nice to get another Badnik, especially to add to Eggman's army, and considering that the Knuckles Mech and Rouge Glider set coming out in January does not have any Badniks. So it's always fun to get more Badniks. And very simple play features with this guy. Again, similar to the other Badniks, the little critter goes in the back of those. And he just sits there. It would have been nice to have a cover or something like that, but I get that all of them have an open compartment, so that if you were to knock them over, you are technically saving that critter. Even though, in a sense, when you just absolutely wipe the Rhinobot off the face of the planet, you're also wiping this off the face of the planet, because this is going to be flying much farther than this is if you knock that over. So this guy's gonna have a great time. So I usually just put him there, because then it just looks nice and fun. But great build on the head. The body has really nice shaping. There's no wheel on the bottom, which I think works. It would have been nice to have a wheel, but also considering that it is supposed to be a stationary Badnik that he gets knocked over, it works well. The prints on the eyes are really nice as well, though I think those are reprints of the crab meat eyes that were done in the first wave, but just on obviously a different color, this kind of like mustard or yellow color of some kind. The head itself, really nice, looks like a rhino, super cute, great. Let's talk about the bike. That is a highlight of the set for sure. This bike is a really nice build. It's small, it's nothing huge and bulky, it's not added stud shooters or anything goofy stuff. It is just, it gets to the point. It's nice. It's got the, signature looks to Shadow's bike with the colors and the emblem as well. That is a print. There are 2 of them included in the set. They are wonderful. Again, if you were to buy multiple of the set, you're getting a bunch of amazing prints. These ones too, the kind of like mud flaps of some sort on either side or whatever they are also really, really nice pieces. I'm not sure what they are supposed to be necessarily. I can't remember Shadow's bike necessarily having those. Mind you, I haven't seen what his bike has looked like in a while, but still really, really cool. Added detail on that bike. And those can fold out and fold in. You can fold them in as much as you want because they're not going to be able to touch the wheel no matter what, because there are guards on the side. So it's nice to have those fanning out, especially if he's going fast or something like that, and say you posed it and he was doing a wheelie of some kind. That's really, really cool. Yeah, the handlebars are really, really nice. The only thing with this bike that I'm kind of like, would be the light here, because it's just on a hinge there, and it just sticks out there, and it is just, like a 1x2 hinge there, and then just little lights. It's a little goofy, it kind of just sticks up there, but still, I'm not complaining too much, because I really, really like it. And I think, again, for the value, considering how much LEGO has gone up in value, or like in price, they've, raised prices and things like that with pieces and things like that, I think that this still works really, really well. Shadow can sit there, hold those handlebars. I'm not going to have him hold those because I noticed that with these pieces, especially if you put the minifigures or hands on them over and over again, it will rip and tear at these pieces because they're like more of a rubber plastic. So I generally don't put minifigure hands all over those because I like them to look nice still, especially because they sit on the shelf. And also with Shadow, I'm not going to display him on the bike. I'll display him with the rest of the main cast of characters. But still a really, really nice bike overall. Now I'm going to take Shadow here, and we're going to take a nice little look at him there. Shadow is wonderful. It has been a very long time coming since we have seen a LEGO Shadow. Last one we saw was in LEGO Dimensions, and that one was again similar enough to this one. And I'll turn it around as well so we can see, but this Shadow, pretty basic torso printing, just with a bit of the hair tuft. The arm printing is wonderful. I'll bring that a bit closer so we can see it. But like little details of the inhibitor rings and the glove parts, and then also just like the little collar on his fur as well. It's on every quill there. They didn't skip out on that. The arms, There's no side leg printing, which is fine, but the front gets it nice. You've got the, obviously, jet or the air shoes. You've got a bit of a design there on the front as, you know, the shoes, they kind of angle up a bit at the front, which is really cool. And the head itself is wonderful, like wonderfully molded, wonderfully printed. I don't have any errors with this one, which is phenomenal. And especially even with the ears as well, having the tan printed on the black. I'm pretty sure that's dual molded. It is actually, yeah. So that is fine. So you're not really getting that problem of tan on black. And that printing, the only thing that I can really see would be the red on the black here. It is a little bit faded, but still color-wise, it is really good. So you're really getting what you want with this set and a good shadow. Now, in comparison to the Sonic from this wave, Sonic I think is goofy as hell. So he really does not look great, in my opinion. In comparison, you can even see the eyes. Shadow looks amazing. He looks serious. He has his regular expression. Sonic looks like he's on another planet. He's had too much to drink or something like that, because clearly he is just, he's somewhere else. Look at his eyes. He is just, yeah. Much better Sonics from the Dimension ones and the Ideas Sonic. Both of those I prefer over this one. If they had done the pupils just closer to the head and not angled out like that, would have been so much better. As opposed to, you know, say Shadow here, he looks really great because the eyes are, you know, they're vertical as opposed to on an angle. Sonic just looks goofy. Like this could be like a good classic Sonic, but this is not a good modern Sonic. Well, that's what they're going for. But in comparison, like, they're great. Shadow has much longer quills, which is super cool. And Sonic still looks goofy, but just in comparison there. In comparison to, say, Tails, again, really, really great. Scaling is super great on these figures. Amy as well. Amy's very tall, which is fine because she has her skirt. But still, you know, they look really, really good together. Eggman as well, I'll do that. But yeah, great scaling. They did a great job on Eggman, so just, you know, another great addition to the wave with Shadow here. And I'll also bring over World Minifigures Shadow just to compare and show you that, yes, this Lego Shadow is honestly so much better than this Shadow, in my opinion. Like, superior. Like, even from a front-facing angle, the angle of Shadow's head with the quills is so much better because there's more, you know, it's more full on the sides, whereas this one is just sleek and straight back, which, you know, is fine. It was great for, you know, what it was for a little while, but this is just so much better. This Shadow can essentially retire at this point. Even the shoes, like, I still like this guy better. The arms, still, I like this one better. These ones are bigger, sure, and they have more, you know, you can see them a bit more. But these ones are just nice, and yeah, this one's interesting. The back printing, they went for the same kind of quills as I think, Sonic there. So you're getting the same kind of design there. I honestly don't mind these ones too much. The curved is a little interesting, but still great minifigure. So overall, he really makes the set, even though the set is $24, I think what is provided here is worth it. Shadow himself, I think, is worth it as a new addition to the wave. If you've been waiting for Lego Sonic as long as I have for all these years, I think this is a perfect cheap set, especially considering the last sets that were just released in August were pretty expensive. If you're looking for just a cheap entryway to get into this wave or to this line in general, this set is perfect. It doesn't have a ton, but it has enough that it still feels full, some unique elements, and it really just encapsulates, I think, the direction that maybe we're going towards with the new Lego Sonic line. So I'm really hoping for good things going forward into the summer, and also in January here, I'm really excited for the Knuckles Mech and Rouge Glider set, and I will definitely be reviewing that as we go forward. So yeah, this has been a review. Glad to be back, and happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and I will see you guys later.